Well, it's day 29 of the shutdown, and millions are about to lose food stamps, farmers face bankruptcy, and our military is bombing boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific. And the Epstein files still remain hidden. But here is what the House Republicans are focusing on. Take a look.
Oversight Chairman James Comer released a blockbuster report now on the Biden Autopen presidency. Every executive action signed by the Autopen without written authorization from President Biden should be voided. The actions of President Biden simply were not all his own actions, and there are major implications to that, including all the pardons that he signed.
The so-called chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, continues to behave like a malignant clown. We can't point to a single thing that he's actually done to make life better for the American people. If James Comer wants to investigate something, investigate Donald Trump's lie that he was going to lower costs on day one.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. You know, I kind of agree with him. If you, instead of investigating a man who is no longer in office, I would like y'all to find out why the U.S. military is striking vessels without verifying who's in them.
Yeah.
I want the government shutdown to figure out what's going on, because it's getting ready to be the longest one in history. SNAP benefits are about to run out. Soybean farmers in financial crisis, and of course there is the unreleased Epstein files.
Yes.
And let me remind you that you-know-who has admitted to using an Autopen, but for very unimportant papers. So if you're going to investigate one, you better investigate everybody.
Yeah.
Or put that aside, because it's going to cost us the same amount of money that it cost us when they were looking into Hunter Biden. And they looked into that for, what, 5 years?
Yeah.
And they just found he's a sloppy computer guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't understand. Is this really what the people want?
No, it's not what they want. And what happened to the presidential immunity that we talked about, like that a president can do anything they want? But side note, it's an absolute distraction. We just heard that Amazon, the second largest private employer in this country, is going to lay off 30,000 people, along with federal workers who are out of jobs right now. The SNAP benefits, as you mentioned, we've got people lining up at food banks. Unemployment is rising, and Republicans are shooting themselves in the foot, because when Democrats were focused on January 6th and democracy, no one wants to lose their democracy. People went to the polls and said, it's the economy. It's the economy, it's the economy, it's the economy. And right now, the economy's going the wrong way. People are losing their jobs. There's more workers than jobs. People are getting... It is literally a travesty of riches, and they are going to go ahead and rehash everything President Biden did. It's not going to work out for them.
It's a major distraction from the fact that he promised the farmers a bailout. Instead, he bailed out Argentina.
Yes.
He said he'd end the Russian-Ukraine war in one day. No. He promised no new wars. Now he seems to be pushing a regime change in Venezuela.
Yes.
Yeah. He's promising to fix health care. He's yet to even deliver on his concepts of a plan. Remember that? You know, so everything that he promised is not happening. So, of course, he's going to go after the Autopen. And it's a big distraction from the fact that the Epstein files are hanging over his head. And he'll do anything to avoid that conversation. So that's what this is about.
I'm surprised, though, that they're using this as a distraction, because it's just so obvious that it's a distraction.
Not to his base.
Maybe not to his base.
People may not know what the Autopen is.
Well, let me explain that. Because the Autopen was actually first patented in 1803. Thomas Jefferson used it. It's been around forever and ever.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Constitution allows the president to pardon anyone, really, without a process, but there is a process in place. There's the office of the pardon attorney. And so when you apply for a formal pardon, I mean, there's a team of investigators and lawyers that look at it. You have to fill out applications, and then they make a recommendation to the president.
That's the old days.
That's the old days.
How they do
Correct.
It now.
And generally, but that's how Biden did it. And then that person, that trusted advisor and team of lawyers and investigators go to the president and say, we believe that this would be an appropriate pardon. And then the president reviews everything and has the ultimate decision-making. And the Autopen has been used by Trump, Thomas Jefferson, many people to sign things into law. So it's just such a big nothing burger. I am surprised that that is what they're using it as a distraction. And maybe it's because the American people
But remember
don't
when
know.
he changed the path of a hurricane with a Sharpie?
Yes, yes. It's like for me it's unbelievable that the law doesn't require the president to even sign the bill to sign documents himself.
Well, and members of Congress also use Autopens. When I worked on Capitol Hill, we often would sign letters to constituents, different memos that went out. We would use an Autopen on behalf of the member of Congress. But I think it just underscores the disconnect between Washington in this political bubble and the rest of the country. Right now, last I checked, we're awaiting another rate cut from the Fed because inflation is so high. We just got one. We were promised that costs were going to come down. And heading into the holiday season, all I'm hearing on my family group chats is, why is everything so damn expensive? The price of virtually nothing is coming down. But this one stands out to me as profoundly stupid because there are so many important things Congress could be doing right now. And what they're trying to get at, follow me on this, Biden commuted sentences and pardoned about 4,000 people, 80 pardons, over 4,000 commutations. I wouldn't be shocked if he couldn't rattle off every one of those 4,000 people whose sentence was commuted. But this is to get at the fact that the DOJ can, in fact, prosecute some of Trump's chief adversaries, people like Liz Cheney, Mark Milley, Tony Fauci, who were given these sort of last-minute 11th-hour pardons. But that relies on you saying Biden didn't know he pardoned them. This was a discourse in D.C. for 6 months prior.
And
we talked about it on this show, that Biden was weighing it, the aides were bringing it to him, and he was considering it. It just doesn't hold a basic scrutiny. And by the way, I would imagine you would know the legal side better. All it would take is Biden coming out and saying, yes, I authorize these pardons. Game over. Save some taxpayer dollars.
Alyssa, which was consistent because he talked about it and then we saw it happen. Trump said, I won't pardon violent offenders, and he literally flopped the day one.
Biden did flip-flop on Hunter Biden and the family members, but still, this was openly done. He had talked about these specific people many times that he was considering them.
Well,
Release the Epstein files.
They are doing everything they can do to say nothing to. There's nothing to see here, and there's so much to see, and it's only getting darker because they keep doing things. I'm sorry. Right now is not the time, in my opinion, to be furloughing people in these big companies. Why now? Is that to make the pain worse? What? Because you have to know your workers are in pain. But and now UPS, I mean,
they don't
everything.
seem to care really. I get the feeling
even
that
the people who do
businesses react to the economy. The
I'm talking about the federal workers that.
I will say, I do think, and you can correct me in my ear if I'm wrong, I think a federal judge stopped the furloughing and the laying off of federal workers just recently. I think
temporarily.
Yes. Oh, I'm right.
Yeah, for a couple, just a very short
So
time.
at least the courts have held a little bit.
They're
when it
awaiting
comes to
pay.
that.
I hope they do the same thing with the big businesses because, if you're going to lay folks off, do it in January. Give people time because you're just doing this like a snap decision. This doesn't give people any time to prepare, and I find that this seems to be the thing. They say, oh, we're going to do it tomorrow. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. And then everybody's in a hazarai because you're trying to figure out what to do with your life. It's crazy.